In this video, we're going to talk about how to set up pathogenesis. The graphic on the screen will give you a really good idea of where everything goes. We'll just cover a few of the details to make sure everything's clear. First, give every player a reference card that will have the icons of the game on one side and the turn order on the other. Next, give each player their own starting deck of 10 cards. These are easily separated and identifiable by a unique icon in the lower left-hand corner. These decks should contain new DNA cards, 3 rapid cell division, 1 adaptation, 1 predatory bacteria, 1 infection, 2 opportunistic pathogens, and 2 normal flora pathogens. Next, we're going to talk about setup of the pathogens. These are in the center of the table, and it's important to separate out the regular pathogens from the superpathogens in the tissue, respiratory, and gastrointestinal tracts. Next to those are the super multi-point of entry pathogens, and then next to those are the deck of fever cards. Next, we need to set up the active gene pool row. This comes out of the gene pool deck, which is the large deck in the center of the table. Draw 5 cards and lay them out face up to start the game. The final part of player setup is handing out gene chips to players in seat order. The first player receives no extra gene chips. If there's a second player, they get 1 chip. If there's a third player, they get 2 gene chips. And if there's a fourth player, they get 3 gene chips. Next, we're going to talk about how to set up the body and the immune system. Place the body boards in the center of the table. Each body board should have the matching barrier deck placed on top of 5 cards. These decks should be shuffled. When the game is begun, the top card of each deck will be placed face up. And then finally, we will place damage counters on each of the different tracks of the body. To find out how many damage counters you're going to use, refer to the rule book, find the mode of the game and how many players, and then you'll be able to figure out how many of those damage counters to put in on each body board. Finally, we're going to set up the immune cards. The immune system has 2 decks of cards. Each deck can be identified by a dot in the lower right-hand corner. The first deck has a single dot, and the second deck has 2 dots. So make sure that those are separated into 2 decks. Immune deck 1 will start the game face down, and this will be the deck that you draw from first. Immune deck 2 will be placed face up. This is the discard pile of immune deck 1. Once the first immune deck has run out, all of those cards will be shuffled together to form the final immune response. To determine how many cards to place into each deck, see the rule book, find which mode that you're playing, and it will indicate how many immune cards should be placed into each deck. And that's how you set up the game. Again, here's a graphic of where everything goes, and now you should be able to set up pathogenesis.